What's going on, YouTube? This is Sniff of ScotchNSniff, and I'm here today at Wicked Bloom. We're having an event with Glenfiddich today, and we're going to be doing a blind tasting. As you can see, I'm blindfolded, and there's a bottle over here, but I don't want to knock it over. And there's a brand ambassador around here somewhere. I think Tracie's going to be helping us out, and it's going to be awesome. So we're just going to sit down with a bunch of people who do taste whiskey and don't taste whiskey, everywhere from beginners to advanced people, and we're just going to see how it goes. Just a completely blind tasting. So eight different glasses, 8 different whiskeys. It should be good.
Oh my god, I need to get my notes. No, we're only going by letter. F was definitely my favorite. I think F was my favorite because it was most fruit forward, and I like being able to distinguish between the flavors. Not only do I like, you know, a drink to be spirit forward, but I like to be able to distinguish between the fruits and between the sweets and between the, you know, the apples, the caramels, whatever.
My favorite was D because it was I thought a much stronger taste, and I actually like a little bit of a burn, so I had a little bit of a burn, but the taste actually, it kind of hung around. I like that. It just felt like I could breathe it in a bit more.
Consult my notes. My favorite was G. For me, it just had a nice, rich, full-bodied kind of overall experience. There were a couple that were a little hot for my taste. There was 1 or 2 that were a little fruit forward for me. And this one just had a nice, strong sense, maybe some age.
I really enjoyed H. There was something about it that really stood out. There was a nice layered complexity to it that really changed as I added water to it. That was the one I found most enjoyable.
My favorite Glenfiddich was probably E. I suspect that it was a sherry finished Glenfiddich. I'm not quite sure, but it had sort of that baking spice, Christmas cake flavor to it, almost kind of syrupy. And I really am new to sherry whiskeys, so I will be very excited to see what it is once it's unrevealed.
I think my favorite one was E, or the 5th one. When I first picked it up, I just kind of got this bomb of sugar and round. It was almost unctuous, but it had this really nice, well integrated, just everything kind of just played off each other very well.
Hi, I'm Tracie Franklin, and this is the end of the Glenfiddich experimental tasting with ScotchNSniff. Now, the answers are pretty interesting. I was very excited as I heard people talking about what they were drinking and which one they chose as their favorite. So what we did is we had them choose their top 4. The one that they chose as their number 1 got more points, obviously, than the one that was number 4. I went in the back, privately added everything up, and our number 1 whiskey was Glenfiddich 18 Small Batch Reserve. However, here's what's interesting. Number 2 was the Snow Phoenix. Huh? No, I'm lying. No, that was number 3. So number 1, Glenfiddich 18. Number 2, Glenfiddich Signature Reserve was number 2, Glenfiddich 12. All right, Glenfiddich Snow Phoenix was number 3. And Glenfiddich 14, our Bourbon Barrel Reserve, came in 4th. Now our next ones were right around each other. That was our Malt Masters, our Glenfiddich 15, and our Project 20. And then the IPA right behind that. So yeah, let's go tell these guys what they drank. So, from those totals, the winner is G! Yay!
Second, F. Ooh. Oh, wow. Really? Third, H.
Okay.
Wow. Fourth, A.
All right.
So, I mean, I think the biggest surprise is that it was the Glenfiddich 18. I guess I was just surprised at, my palate blind still went to the one that I had always picked out of kind of the core range. But I guess at the end, I still loved it.
So my favorite was actually H, Snow Phoenix. That did not surprise me. What did surprise me was that D was the 15-year-old Solera Reserve, because I did not think that I tasted that out of any of the 8 whiskeys. So the fact that it was included was the biggest surprise for me.
So apparently my favorite was the Project 20. Not necessarily a surprise, because I do like the nicer things, and I think from what I've seen, there's a lot of thought and effort that went into that one. What I kind of was happy about was that it seems to be one of their more attainable drams. It's hopefully something I can go buy, a liquor store somewhere and pick it up, and have a little bit easier time finding it than some of the other ones. So I was happy to hear that.
My favorite was the 18-year. It was lovely. That was not a huge surprise. For me, I guess the surprise was the IPA finish, because the IPA, it didn't smack of like aggressive hop and resin and all the things that I personally, as a person who doesn't like IPAs, hold against IPAs, and none of that really registered. It was just a really nice, balanced, mellow blend.
My favorite was E, which turned out to be the Project 20. Very pleasantly surprised about. It definitely had the most complexity of the Glenfiddichs I tried tonight. Biggest surprise was probably B, which turned out to be the IPA finish. I typically tend to absolutely hate American IPAs. They tend to be completely overhopped for no reason. To find out that B, which I actually enjoyed, was IPA finish, was a surprise.
So my favorite, Snow Phoenix, the beauty. So it's fun that I actually never had this before tonight. So I can't say I expected it, because I definitely didn't. But this thing is delicious. Like, again, had no idea what it was, never had it before. Flavor profiles were all amazing. So now I need to go and get like 2 or 3 of these bottles, because Glenfiddich, y'all won.